Hey yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Everywhere, welcome back to another video, man. Make sure you like and subscribe, share the video out, and all that other good stuff that everyone else be saying. Okay. Without further ado, let's hop into this bad boy. Actually, by the title of the video, we are gonna focus on precision-based pet DPS for electricity. Okay. Now, electricity can do a lot of things. It's very malleable in what it can do right now. Okay, it's very good spot where it's at. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, all powers can pet DPS in Dcuo. I'm gonna show y'all how here in this video here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, our general setup, for precision is pretty much gonna be the same. Do bear with me, y'all. I don't have my net socket in, but I do have this right here. So let me go ahead and change that, okay? Lens position. So, we're going to use a brawling for AOE, dual wield for single target. Pretty standard, pretty normal, especially for precision, okay? Our head, circuit breaker is what we're going to use because we want to use our supercharge to enhance our Quizlet when we get to that, okay? Neck, we're precision-based DPS. Let's go with relentless precision, increase our precision right there. Back, berserker is actually going to help give us a 10% additional damage boost, which is going to be phenomenal when we go below 35% of our health, okay? Chest, penetrating strikes is going to be the best option for you on any kind of DPS. Legs, it really won't matter. You can spark barrage, which actually can be beneficial for our might-based DPS where we actually use spark barrage, but since it's precision-based DPS, we're not really going to use anything that in the leg socket slot will be applicable for us, okay? Now, in terms of our hands, max damage, every DPS should be using this. And our feet, I have dashing combos, but feel free to use Deadly Counter or even Tumbling Master, okay? Either or. Deadly Counter will help give you a little bit more damage in just a couple of scenarios, but Tumbling Master will help you in just everyday mechanics of playing the game. Now, in terms of our Fanny's mods, I will actually recommend that type A and B be both precision. I know I have a might, but I also have been doing might-based DPS, so bear with me on that, okay? I just literally got done making another might-based video. Type C and D, as I always say, I recommend that those go to your support role, because all the support role mods are way better than DPS mods. If you're on DPS mods, the aggressive protection, where it pretty much gives you absorption adapter, weapon slot here, without having it here, it just gives you it inherently whenever you use your weapon buff, or even the sure-footed, which gives you a little bit more control resistance. Those are okay mods for you to use, but those are nothing like, as you see, type C and D mods are for healers, way better. So keep that in mind. Now, in terms of our trinket setup here, pretty much it's going to be very similar to our might setup, but instead of one change, I would say. Now, we're going to have a tier 3 pet, as you see. I have Mother Box, but feel free to check out Obsidian Chill's video. He went over a whole spreadsheet breakdown of what's the best pet in the game. So I would say follow that. I haven't tested each and every last one of them, and I just like to have Mother Box because it's something that actually dropped for me. So hey, we're good there. And I know it is one of the highest ones. It's just not the highest at the moment, I don't believe. So keep that in consideration. We're also going to have our buff trinket, which is going to be phenomenal for us to constantly keep on spamming and using. So, hey, we got our buff trinket. Then we're going to have our OMAC nanite circuitry trinket. You can pick this up with Dr. Fate in the middle of the House of Legends. He will go ahead and sell this to you for, I forget the exact amount of Fate tokens, but you can check him out for that information there. And all this is going to do is increase our base health and toughness by 125%, which is going to help us out with buff trolls too later on, as well as give us 5% critical attack chance for our weapon, that is. So definitely have this on. It's pretty much mandatory for any precision DPS. Now, on our fourth slot, we're going to have our henchmen. Just as a general case, I use mummies, especially for the latest content, because it does do 10% more damage in the latest content, which is Sins of Black Adam DLC. Now, that is also on the fourth slot, because we will sub it out with our overstrike and supply drop with subsequent trinkets, artifacts, that is, Dead King Scepter and Philosopher's Stone. Okay, now, in terms of our actual artifact setup, which is what allows us to pet DPS effectively for any and all powers. We're gonna use some Mercy, and I don't know how to say the Matrix artifact here, the Mercy artifact. Let's be honest, everyone's gonna call it Mercy. It does a number of things, as you can read here. It's gonna help heal our pets. It's gonna help to increase damage whenever we summon our pet. Trinket, that's gonna be a tier 3 pet, which that can hit very hard. I've seen it hit in just the last video, it hit $500,000, so 500,000 there. But it also in content hit pretty much a million. I think it was like 1.3 million. So it is something that is very strong and definitely something for you to definitely consider using, regardless if you're a pet DPSing or not. Now, to get those kind of numbers, you will have to get up to 200, as you see by that Mercy reactive field. That's when summoning a pet trinket damages all nearby enemies, and damage increased by, you know, the percentage based on the level you got the artifact to. 100 is where you're going to see those increased numbers, and it's going to be phenomenal. Now, it is a very short AOE, let's say melee ranged attack. So definitely be close to your enemies when you're doing it. It's phenomenal for hallways. It just has a little bit of extra, you know, damage that you can throw out and be on top of the leaderboard with. Now, since we are electricity and we don't have, you know, fortified golem or offering, we get the Mercy attack protocol power. And if you have this artifact on, if you are sorcery and earth, it's still going to convert it into Mercy attack protocol, which pretty much allows the pet, robot sidekick, Crystal Fury to move faster, hit harder, apply powder action. Okay, and whenever we use this, we actually decrease the cooldown of our pet trinket, which is going to be a tier 3 pet. You see how stuff has a nice synergy with it. Now, it also helps give all our pets shields. That's that green little shield that you see, and depending on the shield, you know, 95% of the health, and applies a weak shield to your pet, cooldown 10 seconds, and you increase the shield up to 50% when you are 200. Now, I definitely recommend for pet DPS to really work and be in its true, you know, powerful state, you will have to have the Mercy artifact and the Source Shard artifact up to 200. Okay, that is pretty much going to have to be a requirement there. Now, the Source Shard, you could probably get away with 160, but you will have to definitely get it to 200, because you will need the 200% damage increase that Godway String does offer from the Source Shard artifact here. But you will also need the 3 pets, and that comes with 200 rank. Okay, 25% chance to refresh the cooldown is phenomenal, and it does proc quite often. Funny enough, it procs more often after you hit the Mercy attack protocol the second time. Well, the second time, I'm gonna get into that later when we get to the rotation and loadout. Okay, but 25% nonetheless is a phenomenal thing. If you are very lucky, you're gonna hit a lot of these, and with hitting a lot of these, you're gonna boost your damage just phenomenally across the board. Now, our third one is going to be Quizlet, and this is also going to be a phenomenal artifact to go ahead and incorporate. It's going to give us our third pet, which is going to synergize well with our Mercy artifact here, and our Source Shard for our third pet right there. Third pet, you'll see a going trend. I did this on the might base as well. Tier 3 pet, robot sidekick, as well as Quizlet. Our 3 pets we're going to pretty much always have increased damage from. Now, if our tier 3 pet is on cooldown or something, then we definitely throw out a henchman or something like that, and that will be increased damage there. But in terms of our Quizlet, you already pretty much know what it does. If we use superpower, it hits enemies. If we use a supercharge, it hits enemies way harder. And whenever we use a supercharge, it grants us some supercharge back to us. Generally, it's about 5% whenever we use Supercharge, so it pairs very nicely with our Circuit Breaker mod, which also gives 5%. So that is something to take into consideration in there. Now, in terms of our stats, you can go ahead and take a screenshot if you want, or just pause the video and read them out. A little over 150,000 might, and right under 100,000 precision at 99 some change. Okay, max CR, and you'll see my weapon DPS and all this other stuff that a lot of y'all like to go ahead and look at. Now, in terms of our actual augments, everything's going to be precision. I know I have a might one right here. Even the head sockets are both going to be precision, preferably, but I'm almost done leveling this second precision up, and once I level that fully up, then it'll be worth it to go ahead and incorporate that in instead of the might one. Okay, but just imagine when I get this fully up, this build is going to do even more damage, so keep that in mind. Now, in terms of our allies are pretty much going to stay pretty consistent and it won't really change outside of the combat ones for AOE scenarios or single target scenarios, really boss phases. But AOE, you know, Shazam just does the absolute most damage at the moment. Now, he will be in a slight nerf and rework, so Superman will be our best bet once that happens. But for right now, Shazam's the best one you got. For support allies, the Batman Who Laughs is pretty much going to be a very flexible one that you could use. You could use Batman Who Laughs with the draw support ability. You can also use Death Metal Batman with the Cloak and Snare one for a nice damage increase there and defense buff. You can also use Shazam if you are using Superman in your combat one, or even Cyborg in combat one for AoE based, I guess, scenarios. You can use Shazam for the power of Shazamly, which whenever you use your combat ally, you'll be granted a might and precision buff for 30 seconds, which is very good. It lasts a good minute. So, well, 30 seconds, not even a minute, half a minute. So it's definitely a nice buff to incorporate into the mix. Outside of that, the only one you're really going to be mandatory have to use is Emperor Aqua with Hear My Call, because it does increase your pet DPS by 10% whenever you take damage, okay? Which is why we're going to hopefully be in a medium to closer range so we can hopefully take a little damage and get this to go ahead and proc. So feel free to, you know, join into that as a little closer and you know, take your damage and then, you know, go ahead and scoot back. But yeah, in terms of our actual spec that we're going to have here, if you're going to keep this all in one armory, you're definitely want to spec into Brawling, do your Shuriken Storm. So to do that, you have to spec into Martial Arts, at least into Mastery, then come back to Brawling. So you get that right there. And then for single target purposes, dual wield, this is if you're keeping everything on one particular armory loadout setup. You know, do your dual wield, and you have to get bow with the master right there. Then you can come back to dual wield and then get the flurry shot, okay? Super speed, you don't have to get all these. I would say once you get over 400, I think it's closer to 500 skill points, we're able to fully max out your stat points here. The main stat, the secondary stat, you don't have to worry about too much because you won't be able to max it out for a while. But once you're able to max out your full main stat and stat points as well as get your crits, then I recommend that you get the breakouts and resistances right here with the breakout master. My apologies. That's when you'll have the free skill points to do stuff like that. As far as the actual abilities and moves in here, I wouldn't really recommend anything in here per se. You could get Whirling Dervish if you are trying to always have something to proc and move. But in my experience with the rotation of this particular loadout, it doesn't work very well. Long term, that is. Iconics definitely get Robot Sidekick. Other than that, you're not really going to use any of these other ones besides Super Strength. Once again, once you're able to get over 400 skill points, I'll say closer to 500 skill points, then go ahead and get Super Strength because you'll have enough skill points to spec into what you need to spec in, and you'll have go into the extra surplus. Okay. In terms of stats, you're pretty much going to go straight down the left-hand column, and that will be in terms of importance as well. So you're a weapons expert since we are precision-based. Get our critical attack chance first, critical attack damage second, dump everything into precision as we possibly can. Then might and power will be our next one to dump everything in. I'll say at least get 1 if you're low skill points into health. If you're a little bit higher skill points, you could do 5 or even 10 will be preferred as a nice little place to stop for your health increase there. But then just dump everything else into mind power that you do have extra, okay? Here's our actual loadout. For our AOE loadout, it's pretty much going to be as follows. Our Godway Strength, Mercy Attack Protocol, Robot Psychic, Circuit Breaker, Arc Lightning, and Wired. Now, some that I was saying in terms of Whirling Dervish, if you want to do it, you could take out Wired technically and cycle between Arc Lightning and Whirling Dervish, so they both have a 3-second cooldown. You can technically chain them with the weapon combo in between. and they do go seamlessly together. But that is if we weren't pet DPS, and since we are pet DPS, and you will have both of these to deal with and adapt your rotation as needed. So definitely take that in consideration. And since we do have wired here, that's more of a preferred one for us to go with anyways. Now, normally I do like to have a critical wire 3, which gives 2% more critical attack chance whenever we do our weapon attacks. But since this is more pet DPS, we want to get our supercharge out as many times as possible. Say if you have EOG spammer, healer, or tank in the group, and you're able to have constant circuit breakers popping out all the time, you don't really need this. Definitely pop in critical wire 3 for the 2% critical attack chance there, and we'll still be able to hit the Quizlet as needed, okay, and to empower him. But pretty much your rotation is going to be as follows. Since we are using Brawling with the Shuriken Storm Mastery, we're definitely going to use that combo and go ahead and start off with that. Use our Arc Lightning to wire clip it, our Godway Strength, and then Mercy Attack Protocol. You want to try to get them as very close as possible, just because if you read down here, Godway Strength only increases your pet's damage for 5 seconds, and since Mercy Attack Protocol is 6-second cooldown, you're only able to use it once in that time frame. But since Godway Strength does have a very long cooldown, you don't want to miss that time frame, okay? So take that in consideration. But in terms of rotation, you're pretty much going to do like I said, use your left side abilities, then go ahead and use your right side abilities as follows. You can kind of see how I'm doing. Arc Lightning, always hit your attack protocol when it comes up, and just do a weapon combo in between everything. If you don't have anything up, do another weapon combo and just keep cycling through. Weapon combo, ability, weapon combo, another ability, weapon combo, another ability. You know what I mean? Pretty much speaks for itself. The damage is going to keep increasing as we get better and better. But I will say the full damage won't be able to be realized until you hit that tier 3 pet. Now, I know that it's more of a cardinal sin to do when we are doing a parser for, the sparring targets and whatnot. But bear with me, because it does increase 3 pets damage. It's not really complete until we do all 3 pets. So let's go ahead and get that out there. Actually, it hits pretty hard when we summon them. Let's increase all the pets damage and show y'all some parsers. Now these parsers, as you see, 323,000. Very nice parser right there. Very high in damage. Now, if you don't know what kind of parser you should be hitting, you should be hitting realistically above 250,000 in all honesty. You want to get closer to 300,000 as you see, and then really just go from there. Most people fall in line at 265,000 to about 280,000 per second damage, with very few people getting over the 300,000 mark. That's why I said 300,000, something you want to strive for, and you do some good DPS once you hit that. As you see, we're doing a very high damage, 290, 283. We're hitting in that more top echelon of DPS with this particular build and loadout here. Now we will dip down a little bit, but we'll get right back up, especially when we hit our Godway Strength to enhance our pets, because we are relying on our weapon damage as well as our pet damage, okay? And if Godway Strength come back up, make sure you proc it, but make sure you're able to proc it within our attack protocol, so that attack protocol can hit within 5 seconds. Now, if something like that happens where your attack protocol is ready and you hit attack protocol and your Godway Strength comes right back up at that exact moment, hopefully you're able to hit that in a quick succession, because if you're able to hit that attack protocol first and then hit Godway Strength, sometimes you're able to get the damage of the Godway Strength buff before it goes fully out to damage the enemies, okay? So take that in consideration, because it can sometimes save you on damage tremendously. But you definitely want to hit Godway Strength first, which is going to be our first ability there, and then attack protocol second. That's ideal, so you can have as much damage as possible. But as you see, the rotation, the loadout, and the parsers, we're just doing phenomenal damage across the board here. especially once we have our tier 3 pet out, it is pretty much no competition what we have going on here. Now this is going to be a phenomenal rotation and build that we got going on, but I will say when we hit circuit breaker, just take consideration that it won't increase our pet damage, but only our weapon and our arc lightning damage. Okay, anything else will not be increased by our circuit breaker there. The only thing that circuit breaker will actually increase is our Quizlet, because it tells Quizlet you can hit harder for a second and do that supercharge, ability. Another 300k parser. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, maybe I confused some of y'all. Quizlet actually their fractal beam. When you use a supercharge, Quizlet will release a powerful attack, and because we're using a 5,000 cost supercharge, we'll deal a medium damage attack towards our primary target and hit up to 7 additional targets. So that's 8 targets right there that we're hitting. And let me tell y'all that medium damage, mind you, apparently he does low damage on base, which is already a good dot as is. Then you do medium paired with the 200% increase that he's going to receive from Godway Strength is phenomenal. So definitely make sure you hit Godway Strength before you hit Circuit Breaker. It's going to make all the difference in the world for this kind of build. Now I will say that there is an additional trinket to use for this stuff, which is going to be this Gotham City Emergency Signal. Now this hits hard. When I tell y'all it hits hard, it hits hard. You can actually get this whether you have loading points or you want to come to the marketplace here. It is going to be buy 2 different bundles. You can get it either or. You can do Ultimate Batman bundle here, or you can come down and get the Gotham City starter pack. Either one will give you this particular trinket right here. Apparently I can't do my inventory. This particular trinket right here, this Gotham City Emergency Signal, now does give you 25% experience gain boost, but we're not worried about that at all. We're worried about now that we're level 30, damages all nearby enemies, and it's going to do a phenomenal job. It's going to hit very hard, especially when Godway Strength is empowered. Now you do want to summon this first, and let me go ahead and get in combat. Summon this and then quickly hit Godway Strength so he's able to do that damage. And let's show, oh my goodness, see, look at that damage he was able to go ahead and output there. Now I will say on my might based build that I just released before this video, he was, see, about 200k right there per second. That's 2 mil, honestly. Actually, he's hitting 200,000. And the video I did right before this, when I was might based DPS, over here he was hitting 300,000 each target. And let me tell you, that's going to be a very high number in content. He is doing phenomenal damage when empowered by that Godway Strength. So definitely take that in consideration. Trinkets like that are going to help tremendously. Henchmen are definitely something you want to go ahead and use, especially when your tier 3 pet is on cooldown at that moment, so you can get one of your henchmen empowered by the Godway Strength. Now Godway Strength does seem to be a very random 3 pets that is going to empower, but it almost always empowers your robot sidekick, so that's definitely a benefit right there. So robot sidekick always have an empowered attack, Mercy's attack protocol. Okay, but other than that, you'll still use your other trinkets as same, like the orbital and supply drop. And if you want to EOG spam a little bit, you could, but you're more better off since it's a pet based DPS. Just go ahead and keep Quizlet in, since it does do an attack whenever you use a supercharge. But yeah, without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video out. Ooh, my apologies, y'all. I do apologize for not showing y'all the single target. Single target actually does phenomenal damage as well. And for single target, we're actually going to go ahead and just swap out Tesla Blast here for the Arc Lightning. Okay, in terms of any other setup, it's not really going to be required other than us switching to dual wield. Now, you already know the spec of dual wield because I showed you earlier, but it's pretty much going to be the same general premise as we had over the AOE rotation. You're pretty much going to hit your Godway Strength first, attack protocol second, and then just clip these other 2 abilities and just keep spamming that ability that Tesla Blast as needed. Hit your weapon attack combos in between. It's just going to be a range tap and hold. Hit your attack protocols whenever they come up, just to constantly have that increased damage, and it does phenomenal. Let me tell y'all, phenomenal. Now, as you see there, I kind of waited to hit that attack protocol just because that Galway strength was coming off cooldown, and you definitely want to do that so you can maximize the attack protocol each and every time. Now, you saw that Galway strength came off cooldown as soon as I hit that attack protocol. That Galway strength came off cooldown. Sometimes you want to quickly use the Galway strength to hopefully get that, but because they're so close in range and a lot of other factors, I highly doubted that, so I just kept it. I'm gonna save it for the next one, okay? But yeah, let me do a little bit of rotation here and show y'all some of the damage that it can do. Now, you will be more dependent on this Tesla Blast to crit for the, what's it called? Single target damage to increase. But I will say that even though this is single target, if the bosses, spawn ads and whatnot, you're still going to be okay because your pets do AOE damage, and, you can drop overstrike and stuff like that when need be. And see, we're doing pretty good damage all around. We almost hit 400 and some thousand per second. Oh my goodness, I'm not hitting my combos like that. My apologies, I'm just messing this up all over. Now, you can definitely use a weapon tag in between each ability if you want. That's definitely something that you can apply. But sometimes I like to hit them back to back just to make sure I can proc everything in the right timely manner. 156,000. You're seeing this stuff doing very good damage nonetheless. I'm kind of butchering it here and there, but you're seeing that I'm still getting good parsers nonetheless. So definitely take that in consideration and let me know in the comment section down below how this has fared for you. If it's doing good damage, bad damage, whatever the case may be. Be constructively criticizing me in the comments, okay? If need be, that is. Let me put it like that. If need be. Still another 150,000 right there. Per second, that is. You pretty much always stand over that 100K mark. Doing pretty good. Now, we don't have no strat card, no transformation card, no nothing like that. We got pets doing this damage, y'all. Pets are doing crazy damage. You've seen some of the ticks and some of the numbers in the background gameplay. So, man, this is incredible, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be rocking the pets. I'm gonna do the other stuff too for y'all for the videos and whatnot. But when I want to play and just want to be safe, I'm gonna do pets. This is almost guaranteed damage, y'all. Especially in elite content, this is probably gonna be more preferred since the mercy artifacts allow us to shield and heal our pets. It's gonna help us tremendously. Now, what I mean by that, because the pets say we got a block, right? Pets are still doing damage. We can quickly do one of these. Pets are still doing damage. We're getting good damage with that. Maybe we can't do nothing else with block. Pets are still doing damage. Everyone else is stopping their damage. Their dots are just going, but our pets are still doing stuff, okay? And that's going to help us in content, especially stuff like Elite where you got to listen to mechanics a lot more and do them as need be. This is going to be so optimal and ideal for pretty much everything. Now, we'll be honest with y'all. Circuit Breaker will not increase our pet's damage. Neither will Supply Drop. But Circuit Breaker will be able to now increase in focus, as well as our crits will be able to focus more on our weapon-based attacks and our Tesla Blast as needed, okay? So we're not getting the full great damage increase. Like, we're getting our damage increased, right? Still 55% for Circuit Breaker, so that's still good. But since not all of our moves are able to do that might or precision-based damage to get that increase, we're going to be a little bit limited. We won't get the full ratio. If you're hitting only 100K and then you hit Circuit Breaker, you hit 300K, we won't get that same jump. Now, we're already hitting more than 100k base. So when we jump, we're gonna hit a little bit over 300k still, nonetheless. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm trying to make sure everyone knows, so you're not bamboozled. Be like, oh, I hit circuit breaker. Why didn't my pet damage go up? The only pet damage can go up when you hit circuit breaker is gonna be Quizlet. Okay, they don't affect your robot sidekick and your tier 3 pet and stuff. They don't affect that. All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here for everyone. But look, without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video out. This is actually the end of the video, so keep that in mind. Let everyone know in the comment section down below that I did mess up. The single target stuff did come out later. And for ally single target too, you know, go ahead and use Crypto. He's going to be the best single target ally to use. And then I will say actually pair Crypto with either Batman Who Laughs or Shazam, okay? Those probably going to be your two best ones to go ahead and use. But make sure you share this video out. Let people know. Let people try the build. Try it out for yourself. Let me in the comments how it is fair for you and all that other stuff, okay? I will be going over every single last power in Dcuo, doing the might and precision, normal loadouts for them that are going to be the best of the best. I'm going to scour YouTube, scour all the whole internet all together, ask everyone around to see what the best loadout is and test them all out and give y'all the best one like I do for electricity here, as well as do the pet DPS variations of the might and precision there. And I'm going to do support role loadouts, battle troll, battle tank, battle heal, pure heal, power troll, buff troll, EOG spam heal, EOG spam tank, pure tank, and pet tanking, all that stuff. I'm gonna go over each and every last one of those. So definitely stay tuned in for that. But without further ado, peace and shalom. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can catch all these videos with post notification bell turned on and set to all.